welcome to Interviews with Colorado Professionals. Today we have Brenda Rodriguez from ADP, and if you're a new business owner or you're an existing business owner, you should see this video until the end because we're going to be talking about payroll, we're talking about business solutions, insurance. So Brenda, I'm super happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Alfredo. I'm so excited to be here, talk about ADP and just being able to share my knowledge.
Exactly, but not only of ADP, but also about you. Because
Absolutely.
ADP is a great company, but you are even a better professional.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
We love counting on you. You're our ADP representative, and it's been great working with you. So
Thanks.
I would love to share our experience to the public, especially business owners or new business owners, so they can learn more about ADP and also the services and the solutions specifically that you provide to potential new clients, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll start a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
I'm actually a Colorado native, so been here my whole life. Love Colorado.
Bilingual.
Bilingual,
Okay.
Spanish. My parents and myself are from Mexico. Seeing my dad become a small business owner, and that's kind of, it's ironic because the way that I work with my clients and also with accountants in the community, that's what I do, is I focus with small business owners and help them set up, themselves and their employees for success.
Yeah.
So,
and then
excited.
also, and it's great that you're seeing it from both ends, right?
Correct.
Because you provide solutions, but then you see your dad having to go through the day-to-day, and then as he grows his business and expands, then there's multiple challenges. There's different opportunities for you to advise him on what to do, what not to do, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And Colorado keeps changing. I think I was having this conversation earlier with someone else, and we're talking about the way that Colorado has become more of like an employee-driven state. So a lot of legislations, a lot of new laws that will be coming into effect next year that will be protecting the employees and will be acting as new benefits to be added from employers back to those employees.
Got it. So how about if we start from the basics?
Yeah.
New business, how can they benefit from the solutions that you and your company has to provide them? And I think the first one that comes to mind for me is payroll, right?
Yes, absolutely. So if you didn't know, ADP pays 1 out of 5 Americans in the United States. So huge company. We actually focus on 2 divisions. Our small business that just focuses between 1 to 49 employees, and then anything above that as well.
Okay.
What makes us different, though, is that with our competitors, what we are seeing is that they're taking away our local representatives.
Okay.
And are not really helping or supporting our business owners.
Got it. So more like a cold relationship.
Yes. You call into a 1-800 number.
Oh my goodness.
They sign you up, and that's it. You never hear from them.
Just
you get fees.
A call center. You never know who's going to answer the call, if they're going to be helpful or not.
Exactly.
And when you're handling the payroll of your company, when it comes to the compensation of your employees, I don't think that's something that should leave to an stranger, right? And if you have a question, or if you run into an issue, having someone locally who can answer the questions, who can help you set up your payroll, I think it's massively.
100%. I mean, honestly, when I'm working with clients, especially new business owners, they want to learn. They want the knowledge. They want the information. They want to understand the platform.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of different ways that a payroll can be pulled back or be voided for a small mistake.
Okay.
So that's when ADP comes in, right? So we're local to the area. Personally, I'm all over the state of Colorado.
Okay.
I train my clients 1 to 3 times on their payroll platform to actually understand how to use it, how to navigate, any questions they may have. So first, I'm their point of contact.
Okay.
Now, if they are like, Brenda, I don't need you, like, thank you so much, I understand it, because that's what we try to do with our software.
I want to process it manually.
They process it manually.
Okay.
I mean, they rarely call me, and then sometimes they'll even call our 1-800 service, like our client service line, for additional support. And we have that 24 hours, 7 days a week. And we also have a chat feature. Okay. So it's really nice to just be able to have that additional support. So that's what makes us different in that sense.
And the biggest benefit that I see from payroll specifically is that you can do direct deposits to your employees.
Correct.
You don't have to actually write the check.
Correct.
And then the system is set up in a way where like it accounts for everything. So you're not making any mistakes on how much taxes you're withholding, or which, like, you just make sure that you're in compliance with the current laws, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I do with my clients is kind of educate them about how payroll works overall. So if you do have W-2 employees, whether they're salary, hourly, or you want to pay them like most likely like a restaurant, there's an hourly base plus tips. So the way that ADP does with our software is that we kind of help you understand that yes, you're going to be paying a specific salary. And then we're also helping you pay a specific withholding for your employer taxes. Because as an employer, you're obligated to pay a small percentage of taxes to the state, to the IRS, and sometimes to even local tax. So that's what ADP does, is that we withhold those taxes for you every time you run your payroll. So in that case, you're not having to do all those deposits or all those payments on your own. We're already doing it for you.
And I'm assuming that depending on the city, county, state, like those laws change, right?
Correct.
So ADP just they have your back and just make sure that you're compliant with everything, that you're not making any mistakes, because I'm assuming that if you make a mistake with payroll, I'm assuming those mistakes are not cheap.
No.
I'm assuming the penalties. I'm assuming those penalties with the states are high, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like you have to, as an employer, you really have to put your head on, and really think about all the different departments or even local taxes. I mean, agencies you have to pay into. One small mistake, and you're getting a letter from the state of Colorado. A lot of people don't really realize that. You really think. What I'm seeing sometimes with smaller companies, they're like, well, I'm just going to pay my employees with a check or a cash. And they call them employees. And it's like, no, they're not your employees. They're actually your subcontractors. And that plays a different role for them as a
That triggers multiple different scenarios, things that you have to comply, things that you have to follow, right? So it's important to exactly know how to run your business so you can run it effectively and then efficiently, right?
Correct. It's really interesting too, Alfredo, that the way that ADP kind of makes themselves different from the competitors is that we're actually the moment you become a client of ours, we become your tax agents. So if you get a letter from the IRS, or if you're getting a letter from the state of Colorado or local, state, whatever it is, ADP actually becomes your agent and will make those calls on your behalf to correct any issues you may have directly.
So I mean, for me right now, I only have 2 employees, and I have to say that it's been life-saving to work with ADP. I mean, I can be in a meeting, or I can be out of state in a conference or on vacation, and I know that my payroll is being processed every 2 weeks.
Correct.
I don't have to do anything electronically. It gets deposited to their employees. I don't have upset employees calling me on Saturday like, hey, my money didn't show up in my account, or your check didn't show up, or you are out of the office, you forgot to write my check. There's none of that happening. It just happens. They just get their deposit in their account. It doesn't matter if I'm present or if I'm out of state. I think that's been a huge help. And I only have 2 employees, so I'm assuming that bigger businesses, restaurants, construction companies that have 10, 20, 30, 50 employees, those solutions become even more exponential just because they have a bigger company, more people to deal with, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think the most important thing too is to understand that as we keep growing in like our society, a lot of employees want to have more direct access to understanding what their W-2 looks like, or what they're getting paid, what hours they're putting in. And ADP gives that back to you as a flexibility.
Which that's something great that you mentioned that, because we work with a lot of clients that of course are buying houses, and a lot of them are employees. And one of the things that we always ask, hey, bring me your last 3 pay stubs. Let me see your last year's W-2. There's a bunch of them that don't have access to it. But the ones that work with ADP is like, oh, here's my app. Boop. And then in 5 seconds, we have like W-2, we have pay stubs, and then we can get them in their path of home buying like super efficiently. So, I mean, that's fantastic. And then let's switch to a different part of your company, which is insurance, workers' comp, which is something that I also am a client for. And if you can talk a little bit about it as well, that would appreciate it.
Absolutely. So ADP is not just payroll. We focus on streamlining everything that comes with the back office. One of them is your workers' compensation. We work with different carriers and insurance brokers all over the United States. And what we do is when you become a client of ours, we actually shop you around for the best rate that we can find you.
I got an amazing rate for mine, actually.
Oh, so really? I love that. I know we talked about it, and I think the biggest way that ADP helps you in that sense, or as a business owner, is being able to understand that workers' compensation is actually based on a payroll.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, not a lot of people know.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so what we do is we streamline it together with your payroll. So every time you run that payroll, you're already paying that workers' compensation.
Every single cycle, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's already streamlined together. You're not having to talk to another broker or another person to actually know, hey, like when does my workers' compensation insurance like renew? ADP is already taking care of that for you. So,
which I thought was kind of like a car policy or like a home policy where you just buy it once a year and then you're done, you're protected. Right. But no, depending on like if you have more employees or less employees, or if you're paying them more or less, I mean, the workers' comp is extremely tied to that, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Having my payroll and my insurance together, it makes it super easy because if I'm giving one of my employees a raise, or if I'm hiring someone or firing someone, my workers' comp is always the right amount, so I'm always protected, and there's no gaps, so there's no possibilities of me not being underinsured or overinsured, right? So it's just effective, it's efficient. So I absolutely love it. Yeah.
And I think as a business owner, like when you first start off, you're like, okay, I know I need payroll, and that's it. And then some people will be like, well, now I have to get general liability for my business. I also have to look into workers' comp, and they shop that out outside of us. And what I'm seeing a lot of times with some of my clients is that they're getting asked for an upfront deposit. So sometimes those upfront deposits could be like $500 to $600.
50%, right? Too.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, especially now in the economy that we're in, that's something that you really would you rather just put that money back into your business?
Of course.
And they're also being asked for different questions like, do you have subcontractors? Do you want to put yourself in your policy, things like that? And that also raises the rate. So with the state of Colorado, if you're a small business and you're actually looking to hire employees, you are required to have a workers' compensation.
So even if you have one employee, you have to have workers' insurance. I didn't know that yet, by the way.
Because the first question they ask of you when you go to the hospital is, hey, is this work related?
Oh, that's right.
And one of the things a lot of the clients that I work with are Spanish speaking. And having this conversation sometimes, it's very intimidating for them because they're just like, well, I didn't know any of this.
Of course.
Or they'll be like, I didn't know that I could save, $600 with you guys. These are conversations that small business owners are not aware of.
Well, of course, I mean, we as business owners, we're so busy on our business, right? We're busy helping families. We're busy, trying to get the most money for their house. Some of the businesses are, focused on the restaurants, on their construction companies, on sales, on management. And then we forget how important this is. And having ADP, having you, that we can count on you for this advice as we grow, as we face different difficulties, as laws change, helping you, you helping us navigate through all these changes is a great help. So again, if you're a business owner, new business owner, or existing business owner, if you have a payroll provider, if you don't have a payroll provider, you should call Brenda because the solutions that she can provide for you and your business are amazing. I can definitely speak for that because, again, I've learned so much from you of things that I have no clue. So I'm very grateful for you. Thank you very much for coming today.
Of course.
And then I'm going to put in this video your contact information if you're okay.
Absolutely,
so
of course.
Again, business owners, new or existing, with a payroll provider or without a payroll provider, with insurance or without insurance, she has the best solutions. So give her a call.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go, I just want to add, there's new laws in the state of Colorado that will be affecting our small business division, whether you just have 1 to 2 employees or you keep growing. Even if it's just conversation with me, give me a call. I'd love to educate you on what's going on because things are changing and Colorado is becoming more of an employee state. So more protection for the employee, more benefits for the employee. So I think the time is now.
And less for the business owner, right?
Yeah.
So they're like.
We'll talk about that. Yes.
Okay.
But there's some legislations.
Nothing wrong with that. Like
No,
for example, Colorado is a very pro-buyer state compared to pro-seller state.
Yes.
So it's just a balance, and every state is different. But it's important as a business owner to know that it's more of a pro-employee, so that way you can take the precautions and you make sure that you're operating on an efficient way and a safe way too.
Absolutely. In 2023, new legislations are coming. I think it's time for employers to understand that they have to actually communicate this back to their employees, make sure they're staying in compliance, up to date on what's going on. So thank you so much.
Perfect.
Alfredo.
And I think compliance is one of the most important things in this country. Mistakes are extremely expensive. IRS mistakes, real estate mistakes. every mistake is super expensive. So make sure that you're in compliance, make sure that you're working with a professional that can help you find solutions and then can guide you through all these changes for your business, especially if you're looking to grow. It's amazing to work with a professional like Brenda that can provide you solutions day after day. So Brenda, again, thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure having you.
Absolutely.
So again, if you're a business owner or new business owner, contact Brenda. You'll be very surprised of all the information and the solutions that they have to provide.